Episode 7, The Problems That Success Creates. Welcome to Ask the Business Doctor. I'm Dr. Sakira Jackson, the CEO Whisperer. And here, this is where we stop treating business symptoms like random problems and start diagnosing what is underneath. I get business from what I call the triple helix of wisdom: biblical wisdom, behavioral wisdom, and business wisdom. Because guess what? Most business problems are not just business problems. They're not just business issues. They reveal something about structure, about stewardship, and about human behavior. Today, we are talking about the problems that success creates. Now, I know most people believe that success would solve problems: more clients, more resources, more visibility, more opportunity, more demand. But I know you also heard more money, more problems. And yes, growth can be a blessing, but success creates problems too. And that's why people say more money, more problems. Because with success, when there's a crack in the dam, that crack is simply going to get bigger. Sometimes a business does not get heavier because it's failing. Sometimes it gets heavier because it's working, because it is having success. And that's why so many business owners are not prepared. They want success. They believe that success is what they need. But success doesn't always remove the need for structure. Success increases the demand for structure. A common misdiagnosis that I have seen in my many years of working with business owners is success creates pressure. And a lot of people misdiagnose what they see as what's happening. They'll say stuff like, I need to work harder. I need more help. I need a better team. They're the reason why I can't manage through this success. I just need to push through. I need to stop complaining because this is what I prayed for. And then they'll say, you know what? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. But sometimes, just sometimes, the issue is not gratitude. It's sometimes capacity. Capacity, the ability to hold, the container to hold. You can be grateful for the blessing and still need a container to hold the blessing. And yes, I know God said that He would pour you out a blessing, then you would not have a container strong enough to hold it. However, your business needs to be able to hold the blessing, to manage the blessing. And that's what structures and systems do. So here's what one of my favorite mentors says. He says that if you're not prepared when success shows up, it will reveal you, or it will, what's that word? Not reveal, recognize you? Meaning, it will reveal what's really going on, or it will recognize what's really going on. Now, what does that mean? That means if you don't have a structure, it's going to be revealed when you have some success. And if you have a structure, it's going to be recognized when you have success. Either one is going to show up. Because success has a way of exposing what is really weak. So if you have a weak system, success is going to show that it's weak. If you have a strong system and a strong structure, success is going to show that you have a strong structure. Most of the time, When we look at success for a business owner, it means that you have more clients. And then more clients, if you have a weak delivery system, that meaning you deliver your service, then it's going to show up. If your client process is unclear, more clients will not make it better. They will make your confusion show up clearly where everybody, it'll just be louder. If you have a weak system, more revenue is simply going to expose where you have weak money structure. Meaning, let's say that you don't have a method for managing the invoices and receiving payment. So you're out there and you're delivering the service, but then when it comes time to receive payment, you don't have a payment processor, you don't have a corporate bank account, you don't have a method by which your clients can pay you. Or let's say, I've seen this happen many times, well, we only accept, and it isn't the way that the client is able to pay. We only accept Zelle, or we only accept Cash App, or we only accept cash, or we no longer accept checks, or we don't do credit cards. That is a weak money structure. If money is coming in, but there's no rhythm for profit, for taxes, for reserves, for growth, for payroll, for reinvestment, your money coming in can still be stressful because you need to have a system. More visibility is another area where that growth and that success will reveal you or recognize you. What do I mean by that? It exposes your unclear messaging. You get more visible, and then now you get all these different kinds of people coming at you because your message isn't clear as to who you serve. When more people are watching, an unclear message, unclear language becomes very expensive. Another way that success will reveal or recognize you is more opportunities. More opportunities can expose poor decision making abilities. Because every opportunity, every door, every open door is not necessarily your assignment. Some open doors are distractions with better lighting. When I say distractions with better lighting, every shiny ball that shows up like a disco ball in front of you does not mean that you should go out there and get to dancing. Some of the shiny balls should be ignored. Well, that sounds really funny, but true. Here's another way that success can either reveal or recognize you. More demand. More demand exposes founder dependency, meaning it's all on you. If everything comes through you, everything for your growth has to be done by you, and then you have to carry it, it will feel like a punishment and not a reward. So that's what we got to be thinking about when we're talking about success. Because success doesn't always mean, yay, my business is growing. Sometimes it means, oh, my business is growing. What now? When we talk about the triple helix, which we should always discuss because it's the lens by which we look at the business and assess where you are in your life, your legacy, and your language. The first one is going to be the biblical wisdom, because biblically, when you get a biblical assignment, it increases your requirement for stewardship. God doesn't just hand you increase so that we can look at it. He gives you increase because he wants you to manage it, to multiply it, to produce it, to monitor it, and to direct it. I just think that people think that, oh my God, I want my assignment. But then when you get the assignment and you don't have the stewardship, you all of a sudden feel like a blessing without stewardship does become a burden. So remember the pool of talents. Remember how it reminds us that what is placed in our hands must be managed with wisdom. The issue is not simply what each servant had. The issue is what they did with what they had. If you think about it from that perspective, are you going to be the one, the two, or the five? That's the business wisdom. I'm sorry, that's the biblical wisdom of stewardship. Biblical wisdom is stewardship. Business wisdom is infrastructure. Now, when I say infrastructure, that a business requires infrastructure, just like a city when you put in the pipes that go under the ground. It's the thing that supports the growth. If the business grows faster than the structure, you become the shock absorber. I'm going to say that again. If the business grows faster than the structure, you become the shock absorber. Here's an example. You got more sales. That's going to require better fulfillment. You got more clients. That's going to require better onboarding. You get more revenue. It's going to require a better financial rhythm. That means making sure that your payments come in and your payments go out. You get more team members, more staff. It's going to require better communication as a leader. You get more visibility. It is going to require clearer positioning. Again, growth without infrastructure only creates pressure. Like the dam, like the crack in the dam. That crack was little bitty, but the more water that pushed up against that crack, that pressure of that extra water causes the crack to get bigger, which causes the dam to break. So, when you think about it from that perspective, you got to keep in mind growth without infrastructure is going to create pressure. What infrastructure do you have in place for your business? The third lens, the behavioral wisdom lens, is that success can trigger fear. Fear is this thing that activates because of the lens of how you're going to behave. So it opens the door of the what ifs. That's fear. The what ifs are, what if I can't keep it all up? What if I disappoint people? What if I lose what I built? What if I'm not ready for this level? What if more means I lose myself? And that's why success requires an identity expansion. The more you expand who you are, the stronger you'll be in the middle of success. You cannot have this identity of who you used to be and keep growing. You can't keep operating like you're in survival mode when you're in growth mode. That survival version of you, that was okay when you were in the startup mode. But now when you're in the growth mode, your business is asking you to steward differently, to show up differently. And so that fear of the what ifs has to be the what if I can do it? What if I provide value? What if I grow what I built? What I'm so ready for this? What if it takes me to another level? So you have to turn that fear on its head and move in empowered expectation. So here's a check of you to figure out whether you're sitting in a pressure space in growth mode. The first thing you want to do is you want to identify where success is creating pressure for you. Ask yourself, is it in my clients? Is it in my money, my visibility, my team, the way we deliver the service or the product? Are we making good decisions? And are we doing it in the right time, at the right time, at the right place? That's the first question. The second question you want to ask is, how do I identify what the pressure is exposing? What weakness did growth reveal for me? because I just grew. And now, what is it that I see as weakness in business? The third one is identify the missing structure. What structure should I have in my business? What system do I need? I don't care if your business is a thriving concern or a startup. You need systems. Systems are like a rhythm. They're repeatable. They're the same thing that you do over and over again. And not only are they a rhythm, but they're also a boundary. A boundary is this is how the process goes. These are the things that we do. What is our standard operating procedure for this service delivery? How do we do it? And if it's not there, what's missing? The fourth thing you want to do in this process of identifying what success has revealed is decide what must mature in your company. Is it your role? Is it your offer? Is it your messaging? Does your pricing need to mature? Does your leadership need to mature? Do you have a calendar that needs to be mature? And does your follow up need to mature? In order to grow your company and do it in a structured way, number 5 is choose just one growth container right now. For example, I want to get better onboarding for right now. I want to do a weekly CEO review with my team. Let's look where we are in the intentional CEO mindset. Where are we in sales and marketing? Where are we in production and operations? Where are we in finance and management? Where are we in human resources and training? Where are we in soul and strategy? Are there areas in any of that mindset that we need to mature? A business owner who gets more clients first has to sit down and think about who they want to be the client. And at first, it feels exciting. But then delivery gets messy, messages are all over the place, boundaries disappear, and you start answering all the questions at night in your bed. You're scratching your head. You're having a problem sleeping. And unfortunately, your client's experience becomes inconsistency with the service delivery. If that's the case, the issue is not that growth is bad for you. The issue is that the business has changed and has now been damaged because your delivery system didn't mature. So what you have to do in that situation is you need to create an onboarding system. You want to create some boundaries and communicate those to both your clients and your employees. You want to create a delivery timeline so that you know and you can measure and you can monitor your product and your service was delivered on time within the parameters that you set. And you want to manage your clients' expectations so that they know what to expect and the value that they receive when you deliver the service. And ultimately, is this process repeatable? Because if it isn't repeatable, it's not deliverable in a way that will continue to make you money. Keep this in mind, ultimately. The blessing did not create the problem. The blessing revealed the lack of structure that was in the blessing that you already had. So, I want you to ask this final question. What has success exposed in your business? What has it revealed? And what you wanted to recognize? But don't shame yourself in the answer. Let it reveal it to you so that you can then recognize what must mature, change, and transfer so that your business can grow. Exposure is not punishment. Exposure is information. Use this information to grow and change your business, your life, your legacy, and your language. If this video has helped you realize that success may be exposing you, and it is exposing that you are ready for your next level of structure? Comment below the word success and let's talk. I'm Dr. Sakira Jackson, CEO Whisperer, and this has been Ask the Business Doctor podcast. Boom, 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 boom.